Hello again. Now it's time to look at the ankle holster. It's interesting to note that this holster doesn't really go on your ankle at all. It actually rides about a ½ inch above your ankle bone. For some body types, the ankle holster can really be ideal. For some folks, hiding a gun around the waistband area just doesn't seem to work all too well. An ankle holster is perfect for a person who doesn't do a lot of walking around throughout the day. If you've got a desk job, this really could work out quite well for you. Now later on, I'll give you a few tips on how to make a holster like this as comfortable as possible. But if you're going to be spending the entire day on your feet, there's just not much you can do to make a holster like this work. As I said before, the ankle holster that I own is made by Galco International. It is called their ankle glove. Now you'll want an ankle holster made specifically for the gun you intend to carry. This one here is made for my Glock 36. Okay, here's how this works. First, you'll want to wear an ankle holster on your weak side ankle. So if you're right-handed, you want to wear the holster on your left ankle. Now the neoprene strap on this one is a little over 4 inches wide. When it comes to ankle holsters, the wider the strap, the better. The wider strap more evenly distributes the weight of your gun on your leg. The neoprene strap has some very large Velcro pads that are used to hold the whole contraption in place. Now you'll notice that this ankle holster has a generous amount of sheepskin-like padding directly underneath where the gun sits. This is critical. Another thing that I like about this model is that the neoprene attachment strap dips down underneath the muzzle of the gun. This is also really nice. When this is hooked around your lower leg, the weight of the gun will cause the holster to have a tendency to push the muzzle into that spot about a ½ inch above your ankle. Having this extra padding here really is a godsend. It really improves the overall comfort of the holster. Here's a tip from a guy who's worn ankle holsters quite a bit. When you attach this thing to your lower leg, you want to put it on quite a bit tighter than you might initially think. I'm no doctor, but it seems to me that you can wrap things around that part of your leg right above your ankle and put them on pretty tight without causing any circulation problems. The reason you'll want to do this is because a loose ankle holster is a holster that is about 2 days away from ending up in the garbage can. If it's too loose, it'll cause you so much pain and discomfort that you'll throw it away. I should quickly mention that you can buy a special attachment strap for this holster. There is a little steel hook that this attaches to. This part here then wraps around the part of your leg right below the knee. This may work for you, but it drove me nuts, and it didn't really seem to keep the holster in place any better than without it. Now let's look at the actual holster part. Well, the attachment system of this ankle holster is this nice soft neoprene. The part that actually holds the gun is custom molded cowhide leather. So when I put my Glock 36 in here, it fits perfectly. Okay, here's another quick note. Any custom molded leather holster is going to seem awfully tight when you first buy it. This is the way it's supposed to be. You may have to spend a few nights in front of the TV breaking a holster like this in, but please be sure the gun is unloaded when doing this. The final holster feature of note is this thumb release retention strap. There's actually a little piece of spring steel riveted to the female part of the retention strap system. This makes for a very efficient and repeatable draw. Speaking of the draw, the ankle holster provides for a bit of a challenge when you need to get your gun. I'm sure there are some speed demon ankle holster drawers out there, but in my opinion, the ankle holster draw is slow and somewhat awkward. I guess the key is to learn the right way to draw from your ankle holster and to practice a lot. I'll show you this shortly. Before we get into the demonstration, here are a few tips you'll want to keep in mind if you decide to use an ankle holster. Number 1, you'll want to wear sturdy pants. I'll go more into this when I do the demonstration. 2, darker colors are better than lighter colors. 3, you'll want your pant legs to be a little longer than normal in order to aid in concealment when you're sitting down. 4, you'll want to wear a thicker sock. And lastly, when you put the ankle holster on, put it on tight. Let's go to the demonstration. It will help all this make a lot more sense. Okay, now it's time for some up-close shots of the ankle holster. There's a holster right here, and just like all of our deep concealment holsters, it works best if you insert your gun first before you install the holster. So we're going to put the gun right in here. Like I mentioned before, the Galco has a nice retention strap on top here. So we'll install that. Now, take note at how tight I put this thing on. This is one of the keys to successful ankle holster wearing. The tighter this holster is, the less it's going to move around. And believe me, when an ankle holster is moving around, it's caused me a lot of pain. So you'll see here that this ankle holster rides just above your ankle bone, and this model has a nice bit of extra padding that kind of swoops down underneath the muzzle to really cushion this sensitive area. Of all the places on an ankle holster to cause pain, this is going to be it. So if you can get this area comfortable, you're pretty much good to go. You'll also notice that the socks that I'm wearing are a little bit short. If I was going to be wearing this holster, I would probably wear a sock that would come above the top portion of this holster. This would start to rub after a little bit, so that would be another thing that you might want to take into account. The other thing I mentioned before is that this holster comes with an optional calf strap. You can see that strap here. I'm going to quickly remove the holster, install the strap, and put it back on. Okay, now you can see that I've installed this calf strap. And essentially what this thing does is it goes right below your knee and it clamps pretty hard onto your upper calf. And the theory is that it's going to keep the holster from diving down. Now from my experience, if you install the holster properly, tight enough, this strap is not going to do much for you. And for me, all this strap does is drive me absolutely crazy. So of course, I decided to buy this thing, but I never use it. So you may like it, but from my experience, I personally don't think it's worth it. Okay, here we are with the ankle holster again, and what I'm going to demonstrate now is the ankle holster draw. Now, as I mentioned before, this is somewhat of an awkward draw and does require quite a bit of practice. The whole theory is what you want to do is before you actually go for the gun, you want to get a very wide stance and lower your center of gravity as low as you can, and then make the move for the gun, the whole time keeping your eyes on your adversary. So as you go in for it, you're going to release the thumb release, come up, just like that. Now in fast motion speed, hopefully it'll look a lot faster, but I can't accentuate enough the importance of lowering your center of gravity and spreading your legs as wide as you can. So you're going to get really low, come down, and grab the gun.